Bitcoin looks ready for a gigantic move here, in my opinion. Over the past 72 hours, we have seen incredible volatility hitting this market, from all the way down in the 4100 region, spiking up all the way to over 5300, and now back down to the lows of below 4800. This has been an incredibly volatile period here for Bitcoin, and I'm seeing signs in the chart that are leading me to believe that an epic, gigantic move is looming here in the shadows. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin and the aforementioned giant potential move I see looming here. And as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice, this is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and observations on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. Being said, here we are on the 1 hour time frame. You guys know I don't generally chart or trade on the 1 hour time frame. But with this savage, heinous, borderline ludicrous action we've seen here over the past 72 hours, I am breaking this down on the 1 hour time frame, as to me, there still is not as much sufficient data as I would like here on the 4 hour. Give it another day or so, and probably I will have enough to chart on my favorite time frame once again, which is the 4 hour. But for right now, I still am inspecting this under a microscope on the 1 hour time frame. So a quick recap here. We obviously had our celery stick here, $1,000 candle in the midst of just a mere few minutes. Boom, we retraced, created an ascending triangle bullish continuation pattern, broke above the resistance line, broke out again, had our top here. Now we've broke down, and we are trading now within a 3% channel for the time being. So what is going on here, in my opinion? So let's look at where we are at right now. We'll go out to the daily real quick. So we did in fact find our local top here at the 5300 mark. Now, this should have come as no surprise. It could have just boomed right past there, because at the time the RSI was completely heinous and overbought. The volume was the most immense volume we've seen, I mean, all the way since the capitulation at 6,000. So that was a wild horse there as well. But there were signs here, ladies and gentlemen, that we could be looking to top out. Of course, we have our prior wicks and bottoms of that prior consolidation right here, which old support should in fact act as new resistance per classical technical analysis theory. Plus the RSI was completely overextended. We did in fact have our NVT that turned red, which is kind of a red flag to me as well. We'll cover that moving forward. But now back to the 1 hour. After we had our retrace here from 4,300, we needed to hold this level, in my opinion, this white line of support at 49.75, because now that this level has been purged, it's going to be increasingly more difficult for Bitcoin to get above these levels now, because not only do we now have a confirmed resistance level between 4,200 and 4,300 up there, but now we've built a new resistance zone here as well, just so we can all see this. Now, if this gets broken and consolidated upon, it'll be very strong, in my opinion. But the fact of the matter is that right now we are at the boiling point here. Are we going to get into this box and break it, or are we going to find rejection here and look to go lower? If in fact we do go lower, ladies and gentlemen, and test back into this region down here, whoops, let me use a rectangle. If we test back into this region down here, I believe that this run could very well be over and the bears could take control back, as then at that point, this level in here would also look to become resistance. And ladies and gentlemen, to me, that does not look all too good from the bullish perspective, as this whole area up here would now be essentially a red resistance area, as we then would be trading below it. Also, I was looking at this. It never really came to fruition. I mean, it's kind of there, but not really, not enough for me to give it a whole bunch of merit. But for me as well here, ladies and gentlemen, I was under the impression that we could have had a head and shoulders pattern playing out here. The problem is that the right shoulder never really came to that much of a fruition, right? But the thing is that it tentatively looks like a classic head and shoulders to me. It's just not perfect, but with trading, you never really find that many perfect looking patterns. I mean, this one, I'm not giving it all the credit in the world. This is a loosely based right shoulder here. So, I mean, the left looks good to me. We have our top there with the climax and volume. That is very key for a head, right? That's a characteristic head trait there, that you get a climax in volume compared to the other shoulders. I mean, there is some merit here. There is some merit. It's not the cleanest, but there are characteristics here. And we have obviously broken below this neckline, and we are tentatively looking to see this neckline become new resistance now. And if that is the case, and we cannot get back above this white line here at about 49.75, I am under the impression here that we may have seen a top come in, neckline broken, head and shoulders pattern, and we may look for further movement to the downside, especially, ladies and gentlemen. To me, this 48.40 level must hold. If the 48.40 level does not hold and we begin to trade back in this range down here, where we were in our bull flag after the initial pump, right? This was our retracement zone back down here. If we fall back into this zone, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that this whole run may in fact just look like one grand pump and dump, and we could find ourselves testing all the way back down to the 4,200 region, which is the top of this box. If we actually go out to the 1 day here, let's get rid of some of this so it's cleaner now. The 4,200 level and 4,400. Let's see where this is at. Yes, about 4,200 all the way to 4,400 is my resistance box, right? And per classical technical analysis theory, old resistance should become new support, right? So although what I'm saying right now is that I could see that this does wind up being a head and shoulders-ish type of breakdown, that we've lost all areas of support that we'd need to be, and we trade back below in this region down here, it would not be, I mean, I would be expecting a retest down to at least 4,400. That is my opinion. And it would not surprise me if we didn't test all the way down to the 618 Fibonacci, which right now is looming at about 4,300, and maybe we get overextended to test the bottom of the box at 4,200. All would be healthy, in my opinion. That's the tricky thing with trading, ladies and gentlemen, because the fact that we bounced all the way up to 5,300 and then would come back all the way down to 4,300-ish, 44, 42, etc., many beginner traders, you know, moon boys, oh, Kirby, well, you know, yeah. I can't even think of words, ladies and gentlemen, because there probably would be no words. It would just be panic, hysteria, a bunch of banter, you know, shaking like a leaf in the wind. And the thing for me, ladies and gentlemen, is that from my perspective here, as somebody that's not looking at this emotionally, right? I'm disconnected from the price action here in terms of emotion with loss or wins, right? I'm looking at this objectively. What am I seeing in the chart here, right? And this is how you crush the market. So let me show you my insight here, all right? So we've broken this resistance box, right? We broke it. This was a staunch resistance with lower high after lower high after lower high after lower high for months on end. And now, finally, we broke through it with an unsustainable candle. I mean, how would anybody realistically expect for this candle to be sustainable? $1,000 move in 10 minutes, how would you expect that to be fully sustainable? So for me, although we may just move higher here, don't get me wrong, we could still move higher. I will make the case for this in a moment, but let's continue to talk about the case that this breaks down from now, right? We fail here and move into this region, okay? It would not surprise me in the least, and it would not be out of the ordinary in the least for us to retrace to key Fibonacci retracement levels, right? Or old resistance becoming new support. And for me, we have two of those in confluence right here, ladies and gentlemen. We have our top line of resistance at 4,400. We have our 0.618 Fibonacci at 4,300. And then the bottom of our box at 4,200, which would leave this whole region in here fair game to be a pullback zone where new support is found and a healthy uptrend can then continue, right? You guys see that? So although the price would move back down $1,000, right, we must understand roughly 1,000, right? Say it went to 4,400, it'd be 900 from the top. That still theoretically, per classical technical analysis theory, is bullish, as it would still be creating that new higher high. We overshot moon boy exuberance, went back down, and we've now consolidated above all the prior highs at key levels, and then we continue our rise up. To me, ladies and gentlemen, that is still bullish. And it depends how you're looking at it. For me, that's a macro bullish, right? Macro bullish. Because, of course, if you are trading this area in the micro trend, I mean, there's a long way down there, right? I mean, if you go from current levels to where these levels I just outlined are, I mean, that's a long way down. So I'm sure the trolls, oh, Curbinaccio, you said it was bullish and then it went down 15%, Curbio. It depends how you look at it. You understand what I'm saying? In the macro trend, that to me is still bullish. Looking at this on a daily time frame, that we would now have still consolidated above this whole level. Old resistance becomes new support. We bounce off a key Fibonacci level, or even maybe this one at the 0.5, right at 4,500. Maybe we don't test the box. As you guys know, the bots, the algorithmic trading bots, have been loving the Fibonacci retracements, so maybe the 0.5 gets it as well. But really, this whole area, to me, ladies and gentlemen, it is just picture perfect that the 4,400 level starts the box for me. We have the 0.618 as the mean heart line right there in the middle, and then 4,200 at the bottom, all which, if we fall back down and consolidate, would be macro bullish in my opinion. But micro, if we fall down there, it's micro bearish, right? So it depends all upon how you're looking at this. Guys, you know, I'm a full-time swing trader. I am looking for all opportunities inside this market, and I do keep my VIPs updated with every single trade I make. If you have been taking that trip to Wrecked City, if you have been getting destroyed in this market, missing opportunities, getting wrecked, ladies and gentlemen, like Average Joe and James at the water cooler, it's time to turn things around. It's time to crush this market. It's time to get this crypto. I keep my VIPs up to date with my trades in real time to the second. Every entry, every target, every insight, every take profit, etc. I post it in real time for you in VIP. I will see you in VIP right now. Shout out to my VIPs. I will see you all in VIP. Now, I'd also like to look here at the Google Trends data for Bitcoin. Very interesting here, ladies and gentlemen, with some April data coming in, and also the NVT indicator here, which is the network transaction volume metric here that I'd like to look at. This is on-chain analysis of Bitcoin in technical analysis form. But if you are just tuning in now, don't forget to moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell. Let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. And I appreciate you all bearing with me this week. I still am very under the weather, ladies and gentlemen. Been out of it a little bit here. Very, some headaches and stuff all throughout the past days, but still on the grind, still here, watching the charts 24/7, getting this crypto like an absolute savage. The market doesn't sleep, so neither do I. Let's get this crypto. Now, Over here, we'll begin with the Google Trends. So you guys know, if you are subscribed here, I've been following the Google Trends data for quite some time. If you haven't already, watch the featured video on my channel. After this is over, go to my channel page and watch the featured video. It is called The Ancient Bitcoin Trend that has been nearly 100% accurate. And I show how over and over again, that the Google Trends data has shown the direction of the trend before it really happens, like in 1 month increments, right? So it's been historically correct that when the data starts to uptrend, the following month generally is an upwards month for the asset here, right? And of course, past performance is not indicative of future results. Anything can happen, anything can change, but historically it's been very, very accurate. And for right now, ladies and gentlemen, we finished March with a 9 relative to the all-time high. This is relative data, right? December 2017, we were at 100, which was the highest search volume on Google Trends ever for Bitcoin. And right now, we were at a relative 9 in March. We've started April here with a projection of 16. Savage, heinous, and a borderline epic stat, if you do in fact ask me. Because what I do want to look at here, ladies and gentlemen, is if we go into the 7-day data here, we can see that before this pump took place, we were at a 23, sometimes going below 20, you know, just relative. And we peaked here at 100 on April 2nd. We are now several days removed, and we still are holding above our old levels here. So there still is continued interest here on Google Trends over the past week, even though the action has settled down. If we go into the 30-day here, we can see the uptick in Bitcoin search volume right now is real, ladies and gentlemen, more than double. On March 5th, we were at a 43, and right now we are at a 100. This is real, ladies and gentlemen. What we are looking at here is interest pick back up in this market. And this also brings me into the NVT indicator here. This is on-chain Bitcoin transaction. This is the metric for that, okay? It's visualized here in a moving average. And this thing has finally flipped red. And every time it's flipped red in Bitcoin's history, it has essentially picked the top before every dump, right? And for me right now, ladies and gentlemen, I am watching this with an eagle eye as we have search volume is peaking. The NVT is peaking. Apparently, the price action in Bitcoin is peaking. We are seeing some exuberance here inside the space, and this is leading me to remain cautious. I do not want to get overly bullish here, as what I've shown you guys here on the chart is that a healthy pullback could be in the cards. Does it have to be? No. But for me, I still haven't had full confirmation that the bear market has to be over. Still, anything trading below the 6,000 region, especially below the 5,500 region, we are still in bearish structure here. Although it doesn't really matter, because as a full-time swing trader, as long as we're swinging and there's volatile moves here, you know, with large percentage gaps, such as the one we're in now at nearly 20%, there is going to be potentially life-changing trading opportunity all throughout these ranges. And that is all that matters to me, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter if it goes up. It doesn't matter if it goes down. I'm just here to trade, profit, and crush this market for potentially life-changing trading opportunity. That is it. That is the bottom line. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin were to ping pong around inside this range until the end of time. I'm ready to get this crypto. I'm ready to crush this range, and I'm ready to crush this market. I don't stay just one step ahead of every trader and every algorithm in this market, ladies and gentlemen. I strive to stay 2 steps ahead, because you can never stop learning inside this market. Every day you must achieve something new. You must learn something new, and you must strive to be better than the day before. If you are not in that mindset of thriving instead of surviving, you are going to get eaten up and spat out inside this market, ladies and gentlemen. This market is for savages only. if you are not on a daily grind trying to be better than the day before and better than everybody else in this market, very hard to succeed. If you were a professional athlete, are you just going to try and be good enough to get in the game? Base salary? Oh, Curbinaccio, I'm the worst player in the league, but I'm still here, Kirby, yeah. No, ladies and gentlemen, that is not the mentality. The mentality is, I'm going to be the best in this league. I'm going to be the MVP of this league, and I'm going to be the greatest of all time. If you are not in that more, hungry mentality, savagery mentality, chances are you are going to get crushed in this market, ladies and gentlemen. It's important to keep your eyes on the prize. It's important to understand that whatever this market provides is what you must adapt your strategy to. Every day, I adapt my strategy to the ever-changing market environment, right? Just a few days ago, we were on this crazy run-up. RSIs were overextended. Every metric was overextended. The volume was so savage. And now where we're at right now, I've had to adapt again. I've had to adapt to the new environment once again. Are we seeing that this was a head and shoulders with a volume climax on the overall? Have we seen our volume climax here? And are we ready to just trend downwards because all of this volume is just dried up and there is no more to go, right? Just a few days ago, tongue-tied, the scenario and environment was much different than it is now. Every day is a new adaptation. If you are not adapting, it's very difficult to thrive. If you don't adapt, maybe you can survive. But if you're looking to thrive, you must adapt to the ever-changing market conditions every single day, formulate new strategies, new plans, and a new way to crush this market each and every day with the new environment, or you will fall behind, get chewed up, and spat out by the savages. Ladies and gentlemen, I keep my VIPs updated with my adaptations, my plans, my strategies, my entries, my exits, my targets, my posts, my take profits, etc. I post all of that in VIP for you in absolute real time, to the exact second that I plot my strategies, make my entries, and take my profits. I post all of that for you in VIP. I will see you in VIP right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to crush this market. It's time to get this crypto. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in VIP right now. I believe with what I've outlined here for you all today, you can clearly see that a large, heinous move is looming. Are we going to test back down to the resistance box, potentially the 0.618 Fibonacci, or even the bare minimum for a new higher high at 4,200, right? The pullback zones for me, ladies and gentlemen, 4,400, 4,300, 4,200, all would still be macro bullish and healthy in my opinion. Although, depending on how you look at it, micro bearish, because there would be a potentially maximum 15% drop to the downside there if that were to come to fruition. On the contrary, are we going to break above this resistance line, consolidate once again, and look to stick in a new higher high and take out the prior high here at 4,300 and look to test up into this region here? Big moves coming, ladies and gentlemen, in each direction. Just look at what we're talking about here. We are talking about nearly 20% moves in each direction to each target. Are you going to get caught like a deer in the headlights? Are you going to take that trip to Wrecked City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler? Or are you going to be the one to crush this market, get this crypto, and seize upon potentially life-changing trading opportunity? The choice is yours, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you in VIP right now. Shout out to my VIPs. And until next time, my friends, if you could one last time, moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell. Let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. I will see you all in VIP right now. Shout out to my VIPs. And until next time, my friends, be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.